I was reading that Boston, and they are trying like a new system where instead of having a ride thing, the idea is that eventually we will have cards that they will mail us. So like subsidized like ride cards.
Oh, I've heard this.
And they're trying to work together with like Uber and cabs so that you have more flexibility and you don't have to share rides.
Right, correct.
So I don't know how to get on that to kind of try that system, but I know that they're like trying it right now. It's starting up.
I think you have to qualify for it, and I don't quite know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So
that might be something interesting to look into because that would definitely be awesome because, as you know, sometimes with the ride, here's the big issue. Since you have to call at least a day in advance before 5 p.m.,
right.
You don't always know what's going on the next day. All of a sudden, your schedule changes or you have to get somewhere by 5 o'clock when originally you thought you needed to be there by 7, and you can't change your schedule.
Right,
you
can't. You're screwed in that point.
And if you could, I mean, they'll charge you extra because it's considered a same-day request after 5 o'clock.
Oh, that happened to me yesterday. They charged me an extra $2 to change my...
Oh, really? For what? For today?
Yeah.
No way.
I think.
It was only like a 30-minute change.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. But it was still $5. I'm sorry. No, they didn't charge me.
That's pretty ridiculous. It would be ridiculous if they had done that.
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
But it was still a $5 trip.
Yeah. Oh. But, So where was I? Oh, yeah. So you make that's the big thing. And this whole system that they're trying would give you more flexibility where, let's say you have this card, and if they're able to work with Uber, for example, you just get an Uber, you show them your card. It comes right out of your card. It's less money than a regular Uber ride. It's you can schedule it whenever you need it for. And you don't have to share a ride. So, it would make it easier. But I think, and depending on how many rides you're taking, it's still, in the long run, cost you a little more money, I would think.
With Uber as being a partner, you mean?
Yeah, I would think so.
It would because
depending where you're going, I guess,
I don't think the ride's going to cover the entire cost of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Unless I'm incorrect, but... They would cover a percentage of your Uber trip.
Exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I think this card is for.
Right. They would pay like every $2 you spend, I think they would cover $2 or something. Something like that.
Yeah. Every $2 they would cover maybe 50%.
Yeah. Every $2 you spend, they would cover a percentage.
It'd be good for me because, like, let's say I want to go to Dedham or something to hang out with friends.
Sure.
It might be easier. It'd probably cost me a little more, but at least I wouldn't have to worry about like scheduling the ride and all that crap.
No.
And to go to Dedham is also a transfer, which means
Ruggles, right?
Yeah, which means that for those of you guys who don't know about the ride, when you have a transfer trip, it basically means that one company picks you up at home. And you go to a transfer point where you wait for a different company because, each company kind of covers a different area.
Routes and areas.
Certain areas of, the greater Boston area. So.
Right.
But anyways, all that long thing just to get to your ride stories. Let's hear some of these ride stories. There are always ride stories, I've found.
There's always something. Never-ending supply and source of ride stories. So I'm grateful for this service, but the other day I was going into therapy, right?
Yeah.
And it's at least a 45-minute commute for me, at the very least. Okay? South Park. So, it's a long commute, and I was feeling really sick on the ride, and I was in a sedan, and we were hitting a bunch of traffic, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Like, I was really a few seconds away from throwing up. So I'm trying to roll the window down, trying to get some air, trying to stick my head out, trying to figure out if I do puke, where do I puke? Like, do I puke, like, next to me?
Yeah.
Like, where do I do this?
Going through this in your mind.
Yeah,
like
I was going through
planning
I was planning the puke. I was planning the puke. So, one point we were just deadlocked, like we were going nowhere. barely. And I'm telling the driver, I'm like, look, how much longer do we have to get there? Because I'm going to get sick.
Yeah.
And he's like, 10 minutes, but we're stuck in traffic, so it might be, 15 or 20. I'm like, oh. So we're moving, long story short, it takes a few minutes, but then we start moving a little more steadily. But then he's telling me he feels sick.
Oh.
And then he starts farting like...
No way.
I swear. Dude.
Holy shit.
He starts farting like really bad. Like, dude, I've never smelled farts as bad as this. Like,
holy crap.
I don't know what this guy ate or what he eats or what. But, dude, it was horrible.
Dude, I've never had a ride driver fart.
He's like, I'm sick. And he's farting. And I'm like, fuck. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm going to throw the fuck up like right now.
I've never had a ride driver farting. Oh, man.
So literally, dude, I was like trying to do everything not to puke. I was like deep breathing.
Deep breathing in his farts.
Oh, yeah. His stench.
Oh, yeah.
He probably don't mind his stench, too. That's probably the deal.
Oh, my God.
He probably just thought, I'll fart and, it won't be too bad.
Yeah, he probably did. Did he, recognize the fact that it smelled like shit?
No, he didn't.
He totally, blew it off?
Blew it off.
It's like, I'm just not even going to acknowledge it.
Yeah, he just acted like it wasn't happening.
Were they, loud farts or just,
Yeah.
the
they were loud.
Ones? Oh, man. Did he even say anything like, I'm so sorry?
Well, some must have been silent because all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck is this smell? Like, it ain't me.
But did he say something?
No.
At all?
Not really, no.
So he just farted. He didn't even say oh, man, excuse me, or I'm sorry,
he
or
just
anything.
said he was getting sick, and then he farted.
Jesus Christ. So, you guys just put all the windows down and shit?
Yeah, I put mine down.
Oh my God.
But it was cold, so I don't,
Oh, I'd much rather deal with the
dude,
cold.
I put it down,
the
believe
fucking,
me. I put the window
especially
down.
if it's cold, and you're feeling sick, it's pretty good.
So, eventually I made it to the appointment without puking, but oh my God, it was like, when you have to throw up and you just feel like, oh, you can't stop it, like it's coming.
Yeah.
I had that feeling for most of the trip, like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up.
Oh, that's weird, dude.
It was terrible.
So you ended up not throwing up at all?
No, but I was so
good.
nauseous.
Yeah. The problem is, too, with the ride, when you're on a sedan or even on the vans.
But the movement was killing me,
Well,
it's every
I was going to say,
movement-
the movement, definitely. But even aside from that, I've noticed this, too. Sometimes they close all the windows and then turn on the heater.
Yeah.
That's usually what gets me sick.
Yeah, me
most
too.
of all. That dry weird heat, and it's
yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting. You can't breathe in there.
No, that's happened.
I've had
to me
times
plenty of
before.
times.
Oh, dude, the worst is when you get someone on the. This is the problem with the rides with the shared service thing. Sometimes you get some annoying other people on the ride.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time I was feeling sick on the ride. Mm-hmm. There was no farting involved or anything, but I was feeling really sick, and I was like, I need to open this window. So I opened the window a bit just to get some air on my face. And the freaking lady, it's getting really cold. We need to close the windows.
The driver or passenger?
No, another passenger.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't an elderly lady either. She was probably in early 40s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
she's
she
young.
definitely had other stuff going on. But it's dude, I was dying in there, and it was me and Layla. So Layla was hating it. I was feeling sick, and it happens a lot, dude. That's the worst.
But the vans are the worst because
you can't open windows.
You can't. Not only can you not open windows,
well,
but
you can, but they're shitty.
Well, they're barely open, dude.
Yeah.
They open an inch on the top.
Yeah.
So even if you can get them open, there's barely any air coming through that you can feel. But you know what I hate about the vans is every fucking bump you just you're airborne. It's so bumpy and shaky on the vans.
Dude, the other day, I went.
It's terrible.
I went to this meeting.
The Harvard. Thing.
I went to a meeting at Harvard, and on the way back, I was on the ride, and this van was just like all over the place, and I was sitting down just hanging out. All of a sudden, this crazy bump, and I just totally slid on the on the seat. I don't know what happened, because they have those like vinyl seats, and there's no like no friction at all when you're sitting down on those.
Correct.
So depending on where they're riding, you're basically just sliding all over the place. And that was the one thing that Layla hated about the ride also. Like, whenever she'd hear the ride, she never wanted to go anywhere, because there's basically no traction for her paws on the ride. So, like, whenever it'd go through a bump or some shit, she'd be going all over the place.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah.
That was crappy.
Yeah, that's why eventually, like, when she turned, like, 10, 11, I stopped, like, taking her on the ride.
So you retired her early, or how long?
All dogs retire early, dude.
Really?
You're supposed to retire them when they're, like, between 9 and 11.
So you retired her at 10, sort of halfway?
Yeah, like, between 10 and 11. When she turned 10, I wasn't taking her out as much.
Right.
And then 11, I basically just stopped taking her out.
I remember you took her out a couple of times to meet me at 332.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
She loved that place.
Yeah, she loved that area.
Yeah. And it was so funny. That store has like they have like these fake cats on the stairs, like inside the store.
Ooh,
she would go
store?
Crazy every time.
Which
Newbury
store?
Comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she'd go crazy every time. It was
That's
hilarious.
Fake cats?
Yeah, they're like fake cats.
Was she like sniffing them?
Yeah,
and
she'd be like sniffing them, and like her body'd get stiff. Like, what the fuck are these motherfuckers doing here?
Yeah.
Really funny. She was awesome.
She was awesome, man. I remember Layla well.
Yeah.
She was so sweet.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dog.
And I know this isn't the ride's fault, too, but I had another friend tell me that she was recently on a van as well.
Uh-huh.
And, like, I guess there was an older woman there or whatever.
Yeah.
And she shit her pants.
Oh, nice.
You know, she's wearing Depends or whatever.
Oh, sounds like something you need.
So, what, Depends?
Yeah.
I do. And I'm thinking, isn't that, like, unsanitary? Like,
dude, of course it is.
And I'm not saying it's the ride's fault. They can't control it. But it's like, at some point, maybe you should fix the windows so they can actually open.
Oh, I got to do something.
In case that happens on the ride.
Yeah.
Who wants to sit there and smell shit?
Oh,
it's like,
it's horrible.
One time I was in the ride and like this girl got in with some food, some takeout food.
Yeah.
And, dude, I don't know what it was, but it smelled gross. Like,
dude, you know what's the worst?
You're
like,
not supposed to bring food on the ride, actually.
I do it.
I have done it, but
like McDonald's or burgers or some shit.
To.
I've eaten on the ride. I know you're not supposed to.
I have to. Not a lot,
but I don't. Nothing that's like smelly or anything. But the worst is like when you get somebody that's really shit faced and you can smell the booze like in the air. Like they walk in and like you just smell the booze.
That's happened to me.
I had this one guy, like, he was trying to give the driver directions. He was shit-faced. He was trying to give the driver directions. No, you gotta go that way. You gotta go down this street, and then you bang a Yui. He just kept yelling at the driver.
Bang a Yui.
He kept yelling at the driver. I think he must have said bang a Yui, like, at least 15 times within, like, the 20 minutes that he was on the ride with me. You gotta go down this way. You bang a Yui. That's good stuff. Let's see what else. And then you get like sometimes crazy people that start like getting pissed off at the drivers,
which is so unfair. It's not that drivers have nothing to do with the route or the planning of it.
That's the big problem right there. Yeah. The whole planning of it doesn't really work like how it should, and especially now. This is what I heard. That a lot of the people who work for the ride have changed in terms of like, like
what do you mean, driver-wise?
Not drivers-wise, but directors and stuff.
Oh, directors,
And they're trying to change a bunch of stuff on how, the way that the scheduling is done and having less drivers and being more strict on the drivers and stuff. But it's basically fucking everything up because
strict in regards of what though?
Just everything. Like I don't remember exactly what it was the other day. One of the drivers was telling me someone he knows basically got like a 2-week suspension for like dropping someone off at a different address or something like really silly like that.
They're not supposed to do that anymore, I think.
Yeah, but the person asked for it, obviously.
Right.
But the problem with that is they're handing out suspensions left and right, but then they have less drivers, only they have more passengers, So now, like, how the fuck does that work?
Now they're late more often.
Now they're late all the time. A bunch of people, I know a couple of drivers who just plain out quit.
Right, yeah.
Because they're like, fuck this thing, it's not flexible with your hours. One of the people I know who quit, she's a young girl, and she was like, she wanted to go back to school. She's she's a veteran or whatever. She had been working on the ride for a while.
Yeah.
Only a few months, but she was like, I want to go back to school. And they basically told her, no, you can't do it because you got to be on this schedule. And she was like, well, I'll do the hours. I just need those particular days off or whatever.
Right.
I can do the night schedule
so they're
or
not
whatever.
Flexible with
they basically
drivers.
told her no, and so she quit. And I know a couple of other people who quit also. So it's pretty ridiculous. Like, they're trying to make it better, but actually making it worse.
Well, they have to do something, dude, because they got about 5 or 6 years left on this contract.
Yeah.
So they gotta figure something out.
Let's get handy cars. Tomorrow. Dude,
more South Park.
There's a story that you told me that I don't remember if we ever talked about on the podcast.
I was just gonna bring it up, dude. I know what you're talking about.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Never talked about this.
Let's hear it then.
Anyway,
it's a ride story.
Speaking of the ride, I was on a ride one day. It was a sedan. I forget where I was.
Sedan?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Why, you forgot that detail?
I did. I thought it was a van.
No, dude. Tell me.
Oh shit,
sedan.
that's worse.
So I get on this, and I don't even remember where I was going, but I knew the driver. I mean, just because he had picked me up.
Was it Walter?
No. But anyway, the guy next to me fucking jerked off like the entire ride that I was on it. And like, you've been in those sedans, dude. There's not a lot of room between,
Wait, so you're in the back seat next to this dude?
Yeah, dude. He's fucking jerking.
So what happened? Did you like, listen.
He's beating his meat.
Did you just like tell the driver? Like,
well, the driver knew, because the driver looked back, and I'm like, look, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do about this thing?
And he was like,
just let him finish.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, like we dropped him off, like wherever his destination was. We got him there, but dude, he was fucking beating his meat, doing the 5-knuckle shuffle. And you want to hear the craziest thing about this story, dude, is I saw this driver like a month later.
Yeah.
Like the same driver I had in that particular ride.
Yeah.
And the fucking guy who beat his meat was on the ride. Like, he didn't get kicked off.
Did someone report him?
I think the driver did, yeah.
He must have. He has to, obviously.
But, dude, and I heard from this driver.
And don't they have cameras?
Not back then.
Oh, okay.
They do now. But
okay.
I don't.
Also, this was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they had them then, dude.
Oh, okay.
But they definitely do now. But the cameras are only, there's no audio on them.
Yeah, but like, you're going to see some dude with his dick in his hands.
Yeah, that's they'd be able to see. But isn't that fucked up, dude? Like, he didn't get kicked off.
No,
it's like
that's fucked.
But it's like, what do you have to do to get kicked off then?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're not kicked off for that,
well, you're definitely not getting kicked off for taking a shit on the ride.
Why not? Well, the old woman did that, but she couldn't help it.
Well, you could just argue that like you couldn't help it either. Like, they're not gonna kick you out.
Right.
Where are they gonna argue?
I guess if I puked in the ride, like, what would they have done? That's what I want to know.
I've told them before, like, I need to
dude,
fucking
we're on the
stop
highway.
and throw up.
We're on the highway.
Yeah,
where
I know. Same here. This dude just literally stopped next to like some fucking random spot. There was really no spot to
go,
nowhere to go. But he like pulled over, and I just like fucking threw up. Outside, like next to the car. I had to.
When I was driving home that day from therapy, I took a puke bag from their office. I just grabbed a big plastic bag.
Yeah, why not?
In case I had to throw up on the way home.
All the cute chicks were like, "Is John pregnant?"
But to get back to this guy,
sick.
Who was beating his meat for a second.
To jerk off.
Dude, he was totally like into it too. He was like, like grunting.
Wait, what was the noise?
He's like, He's like all grunting and fucking making these like primal like animal grunts.
Oh my god!
And he was totally looking at me too, and like I didn't look over at him, but you know when you have that sense somebody's just looking at you.
Yeah.
He totally was looking at me.
Oh my god!
Oh,
That's what happens when you're so hot, dog.
Dude, people got a jacket to my image. Just an image in the flesh, you know.
Just look at your face and like, oh my god.
Yeah, my face, my whole body. It's irresistible. You got to beat the meat to it. But anyway, I couldn't. I know this is redundant, but I couldn't believe that fucker didn't get kicked off. You know,
He was
it's
literally
like,
a fucker, bro.
what do you have to do?
That's ridiculous.
I wish I could remember where I was going though, because I wonder if it's even worth.
What if
the
you
ride.
fucked the ride driver? Like I don't mean like not like I'm saying like, oh yeah, I just want to like
I don't know,
I'm not talking like a rape
Like,
situation.
you mean-
I'm talking like an actual.
No,
like,
I know you weren't talking rape, but you were just talking sleeping with a driver.
Yeah.
Like in the car.
I don't know. Maybe
They get
just
cameras
like,
now. You can't
get like
even-
super fucking turned on, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this bitch right in the back seat.
Well, there's cameras now, so you probably wouldn't get away with it unless you like
maybe they'd like the show. And just make a show out of it.
a show.
You know, just make a show out of it. You're like, all right,
Well,
since they're watching anyway.
Would be interesting footage. That's for sure.
Ride driver gets fired by the MBTA for having sex with a blind passenger.
I bet you that's never happened though, dude. I mean, out of all the shit that's probably gone down on the ride, I bet that's one thing that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know, man. I'm sure there's stories out there
And
that
this
we
has
haven't
happened.
heard.
Has this happened to you yet? This has happened to me more and more. And this actually happened to me like 2 months ago when I was with you and Henry.
Yeah.
One night, they do not get out of the car or the van anymore. They just honk the horn, and you're supposed to know they're there.
Well, they're supposed to get out.
I know, but I've had a couple times now where they haven't.
Yeah.
And like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me.
I don't care!
I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me, but I know there are some passengers who complain about that.
Yeah.
I'm not one to, but somebody would.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't do it, you're supposed to complain. Like
I know, but I never do because I'm afraid it's going to get back to me somehow.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
No,
Like,
I do.
What do you think it's going to happen? Like the driver's going to go to your house the next day or something?
I don't know. You never know. One time I was stuck in a tunnel with the ride driver and like we were gridlocked. And there was a guy behind us beeping his horn. So the driver got out and went to confront the other driver behind us.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And I was like stuck in the car. So I'm like, oh man, like what am I going to do if some shit goes down?
Yeah.
So when the driver got back in the car, I'm like, what happened? And he's like, nothing. The driver moved to the other lane before I could get to him. But it's like,
Jeez.
wow. And even that I never reported,
Dude, that was this lady who was a driver. I know she still drives.
I don't report shit.
Yeah, but I don't want to like say her name, obviously.
Right. No names.
But she was freaking insane. Like road rage, like
No kidding.
to the max. Like fucking, rolling down the windows and fucking yelling at people and swearing and like middle fingers and fucking slamming her door and all this shit and like, oh my god, dude, it was so insane. Like sometimes you're on the ride and you're just thinking to yourself like, god damn it, I have to like put my life and trust my life to this person's sanity or whatever, and
true, though.
they're insane.